The Netherlands holds the rotating EU presidency the first half of this year, and it set a series of priorities. Joining us to discuss this is Esther de Lange. You're a Dutch member of the European Parliament, you're a vice president of the EPP group, and you head your party's national delegation here at the European Parliament. Ms. de Lange, one of your country's priorities for these 6 months is to develop a comprehensive approach to migration and international security. How is it going to do that?
Well, that was my question exactly to our Prime Minister, because he has a very high ambitions. Here he talked about diminishing the stream also of migrants. In the Netherlands he actually speaks about reducing it to zero, so that's already a different story. But in any case, the EPP shares his view that the stream should be fairly, in a fair way, be diminished. Those who need protection should be able to come to Europe, but those who don't should also be returned. Now, there are a number of proposals from the European Commission about a border protection guard, about return agreements. The Dutch Prime Minister at home hasn't been very clear about his support for these proposals. So I asked him today, will you support these proposals for 100%? And what can I judge you on after 6 months in this migration debate?
How can the Netherlands show that Europe can be a leader on climate and energy and at the same time be an innovator and job creator? Those are all priorities for the Dutch government.
Yeah, but these actually go hand in hand. I mean, if you look at global competition that takes place worldwide, and if you want European hands not to become as cheap as Chinese hands or prices that we see in Asia altogether, if you're not you have to be very smart in order to justify the fact that you get a high price for your workers. And innovation in the area of energy, clean energy, is one of these fields that we can actually generate European jobs that are not exported to, for example, China.
There's a non-binding referendum in Holland in April on whether to approve the association agreement with Ukraine. Points to a no vote. What should the government in Holland be doing ahead of that?
I was actually surprised that the Dutch Prime Minister didn't mention this referendum at all in his speech to the European Parliament. What I want from him is basically two things. I want him to campaign in order to get a yes vote in this referendum, because it's about trade, it's not about membership. And I want him to be clear to the Dutch people about what he is going to do in case of a yes vote and in case of a no vote. He hasn't been very clear on that. He's dodging the issue. I don't think that is very smart.